Hello, 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 hello. I am here. Yes, I was chilling, laying back, and then I got the call. Well, I got a message that they have a verdict on counts 2 through 5. Hi, Mugsy. Hi, Sweet Potato. Hi, Ann. Hi. Hi, Wisco. Hi, Sassy Nerd Girl. How are you? Um, so I wanted to go through these charges. Hi, Sarah motherfucking Z. I wanted to go through the counts that they have come to a verdict on. Okay. And I'm trying to see what is the issue with them coming to, because the first count is the RICO charge. Okay. That is the first count. It's the RICO charge. Now, what time is it? In New York, it's almost 5:30. I don't think that they're gonna keep deliberating for too much longer today. So on count one, we have the RICO charge, and that's the racketeering conspiracy. Okay. They're saying that according to them, he had a criminal enterprise which comprised of his staff and associates to commit crimes, including sex trafficking, kidnapping, forced labor, bribery, arson, obstruction of justice. They said this has been going on since 2018. Hi, CC. So, okay. That's count one. That's the racketeering. The government says that he abused, threatened, coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desire while also protecting his reputation by concealing his behavior. Okay, so that is count one. Count two, he has sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Okay, here's my issue with this. It's been proven, well, to me, it has. Okay. When, granted, Cassie may have wanted to do it to make him happy. Uh, Jane Doe may have wanted it to make him happy. Whoever else. The one time they said no, and when they read those messages, when they said they don't want to do these freak offs anymore or hotel nights, that's a no. Then you start threatening them. When they asked to read back the testimony from the 2016 incident at the Intercontinental Hotel, that tells me a lot. I'm hoping they came back with a guilty on that, because with that count, it says that Cassie testified that he physically, not granted, he is not on trial for domestic violence. But Cassie says that he physically abused her many times. She did whatever she had to do to make him happy. And she said that that included having drug fuel sex marathons. Okay. Not afraid. Hi, not afraid to stand alone. They've come to a decision on 4 of the counts, but not the main count, which is the racketeering conspiracy. Okay. So they're done for the day. Damn it. Hopefully they'll come back with one tomorrow. But I figured it'll be today. Well, I thought it was going to be today, or what my sister said, tomorrow too. So when you get to that, you have sex trafficking, which you're bringing escorts, whatever you want to call them. You're flying them in. You're bringing them in from other states. You're trafficking. That's what that is. Hi, Terry. Oh yes, Lady Red. That's what that is. So that charge alone carries 15 years in prison. Okay, that was count two. That carries 15 years. Count three was the transportation for purposes of prostitution. That ties into count two. That ties into count two, because they charged him with one count of transportation for purpose of prostitution related to Ventura. That didn't say anything about Jane or Mia, just Cassie. Okay, remember, she said she wanted to leave the Intercontinental Hotel because she had a premiere that night for the movie that she was in, and he dragged her back. He beat her ass in the hallway because she wanted to leave a freak off because they were on a break. See, They're saying that he did minors too, but that never came up in the trial, Sassy. I'm sure they have all the tape. And here's the thing when it comes to that too, Chris Coram didn't testify, and I said this yesterday. She did not testify. She lawyered up. She's another Yasleen Maxwell. She provided the drugs, she provided the women, she provided everything he needed to make him happy. You are a co-conspirator, which she was named in the trial as a co-conspirator. Everybody keeps saying, well, you can't have a RICO charge with one person. No, you can't. But you had three people that were involved that received immunity. They received immunity for their testimony. Cassie, to me, at one point, was a co-conspirator. That's just me. Okay. So they're saying that he did this between, as far as with Cassie, he did it between 2009 and 2018. They're also saying this is all count. What is this? Count three. They're also saying that he paid Ventura and the male sex workers to fly to cities across the world, including New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Ibiza, in order to participate in freak offs. That is transportation. That is trafficking. That is trafficking. Okay. Then we have, he said that, let me see. Some of the male escorts were paid up to $6,000 to participate in these freak offs. Count four. It says sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Let's not forget, we have two counts of the same thing. The sex trafficking came with two counts, and so did the transportation. Hi, Amber. And so, hi, Michelle. Plus, he took her to a surgeon and would not let her leave the hotel until she was healed. Isn't that's kidnapping? When she tried to leave and D-Rock went and grabbed her, no, it was Roger Bond, went and grabbed her and brought her back. That is force. You're bringing someone back by force. Hi, my Drea. Okay. So this, they can't, they have to find him guilty. Now that count has 10 years. That's count three. Count two has 15 years. Count three has 10 years. The racketeering charge is life imprisonment. Okay. And then you're going to forfeit everything. Hi, Sherry. He can lose his company, well, his money. Okay. Count four. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, the same thing. He's being charged with that with victim number two, who was Jane, who went under the pseudonym Jane, because, didn't want nobody to know who she was, but everybody figured out who she was. They said that he enticed Jane into an orbit under promise of lavish trips, expensive gifts, a real relationship, and more. He then pressured her into performing for freak offs by controlling her financially through paying her rent. Now, we know 50 Cent calls her little sex worker. Okay? So we know who that is. Allegedly, little sex worker. Okay? So she testified that up until June, he was still paying her rent. Sure, he's going to continue paying it. And she said she felt obligated to perform in these marathons to keep him happy. But she herself sent him a message. They read it. I no longer want to do this. And he called those hotel nights then, not freak offs. And then that charge number four, 15 years in prison. 15 years in prison and a maximum of a life sentence. Okay. Count five. Again, I told you there were two counts: sex trafficking, two counts for transportation. In count five, he has, they said Combs faced an additional charge of transportation purposes for prostitution related to Jane and male escorts. Prosecutors said that was between 2021 and 2024 when Jane traveled across state lines in order to participate in freak offs with male escorts, which were occasionally filmed. Now, somewhere in during the trial, it was said that a lot of these filming, especially for these marathons, were on the dark web. No proof of that, but I'm sure when they got all the tapes and everything he had, they probably are. That sentence was a maximum of 10 years. So what I want to know with these counts, 2, through 5. Could they find him guilty on all of them, or could they just say, okay, let's say that we're going to find him guilty on the sex trafficking of Cassie. Hi, Bombs, crafting with Amanda, but they don't find him guilty on the sex trafficking of Jane Doe. Let's say they find him guilty on the transportation of prostitution, which ties into Cassie, but you don't find him guilty on count 5 of the transportation, which involved Jane Doe. Now, I want to know, how do you not find him guilty? If you're going to find him guilty on Cassie, you need to find him guilty on Jane as well. The racketeering charge is what they can't seem to agree on. So I want to know, do you guys think that he's guilty of all these charges? Or do you think, well, no, because they participated and then they changed their minds? Because remember, you can date somebody forever. The one time you say no, that's no. That is a no. Drea, what do you think? I mean, Marcia, I want to know, what do you guys think? Is he guilty? Oh, shit, 97% said yes, he is guilty. Goddamn, Diddy, you don't get no love here, boo-boo. 97% says yes. I have 3% that says no. Muggsy, you probably one of the 3%. Why do you think Diddy isn't guilty, Muggsy? Because Muggsy came in saying free Diddy. So who doesn't think he's guilty? I want to know why you don't believe he's guilty of all of the counts that they have against him. Because I want to hear how people feel about this. Drea said he's done. See, it's kind of split right now, because even if, where's Lady Red? Is she still here? Yes, and the drugs, and putting the drugs with consent in their drinks. So here's the thing. When juror number 25 asked them, even if they wanted the drugs, is that still distribution? And it is. You distributing, that is against the law. It's against the law. You can't consent. Thank you. Hi, shits and giggles. You can't consent when you're drugged. Remember when that guy said he walked in and Cassie was passed out? And the guy, whoever was in the room with her, he jumped out the bed and he went to the restroom butt naked. Cassie was out. Maybe I'm mad, but I really thought the RICO would take him down, but I really don't know. I wanted more hurt evidence. Perhaps I didn't listen enough. Just on Cassie and Kim, he should be jailed. Exactly. Exactly. Even if they want to drink till they get drunk or do drugs till they get high, they're still impaired and cannot consent. And that's true. Some of them didn't even know they were drugged. Like the lady, oh shit, her name just escaped me, who's being represented by Gloria Alt. She didn't know. He gave her a drink, and next thing you know, she was AR'd. I wouldn't drink shit from Diddy. I don't take anything from people to drink any damn way. But the fact is that they're having a hard time with count 1, which is really bugging me, because that RICO, that racketeering charge, is that encompassing kidnapping, arson, all of that. But that racketeering charge, it states he ran a criminal enterprise comprised of his staff and associates. It's already been Chris Coram, his 3 assistants, former assistants, Capricorn Clark. It's all there. The bribery, the forced labor, the arson, the obstruction of justice. It's all there. What are we missing? What about the girl that ran to the neighbors and filed charge? Yes, that's the girl in California. That's the sheriff that's in Hawaii that they put on leave because he was one that took the report and nothing was done. And that investigation is still ongoing because they relieved him of his duties. Well, they put him on a leave of absence until this investigation is over with. My DJ friend who's been to parties said he never drank a smoke from them. I don't blame him. I barely eat at picnics unless I know you exactly. I warn all of my children do not to not have any intimate behaviors with anybody who's that's true. And I used to see. I used to tell the same thing to my son when my nephews were doing what they. And I would tell them, I don't care if it's pouring down, raining outside. If your cousin stop and offer you a ride, the answer is hell no. It takes one time for you to be in the wrong place, and you get caught up in that bullshit. Hi, Assassinino. And I told him I would come get you once. That's it. But if you're going to go to jail behind your cousins and their bullshit, no. And I love my nephews to death, but they're criminals. It's the criminal. They're criminals. No, I don't want my son behind that or being in the car and you got some people that are pissed off at you and start shooting in your car and my son gets hit. That's a hell no. That's how one of my best friends lost her son. He was in a car that they thought they were looking for and just shot up a car. And he had nothing to do with nothing. He was just there visiting his mother from New York and Connecticut. That shit happens. I dropped the link if anybody wants to come up. Lady Red, that includes you too. But I'm saying, what is that? Assassinino is nice to see you. I'm just saying that racketeering choice, that's an automatic. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is an automatic life. It's a maximum of life imprisonment. I told my granddaughter that is in college not to accept especially in college, any drinks. Even when we go out to the club, um, when me and my sisters go out or me and my friends, if I have a drink, I'm either going to take it with me, or I'm going to put something over it, and I'm going to leave it. Then if I come back, I'm like, and if my sister and them are not at the table or whoever, and my drink was there, I'm throwing it out. I'm going to order me another one. I'm not touching that. I told my granddaughter, yep. So you can't. I'm just trying to understand what is so horrific about. Well, not horrific. I don't mean to use. Why can't they come to a decision on the racketeering? Because if you look at the charges, count one, count two, count three, count four, count five, it all deals with racketeering. That's what it deals with. And I'm sure you guys heard about the firefighters here in Spokane as well. Um, One of the people that I know and didn't know, one of the firefighters that was actually killed is her cousin. I found that out yesterday and I didn't know what to say. It's one of the people that used to work for me. That was one of her cousins. I think the racketeering charges are good. See, okay, let me look at the racketeering charges again. Uh Racketeering. That includes sex trafficking, kidnapping, forced labor, bribery, arson, and obstruction of justice. What's confusing, Lady Red? I don't know. I guess I have no idea. They said, and the RICO law was created, what was it, 1970? Because that was for people that was involved in organized crime, and they're talking about the mafia and all that other stuff. But RICO has been used, but that's when it was created. Assassinino, I disagree with the RICO charge on Diddy. It doesn't apply. Okay, so it doesn't apply to this case. Assassinino, if you want to come up, take the link, please. Mari, yes, my son said that all firefighters all over the country are very upset. I thought about your son too, Mari. I got slipped in my drink one time and I don't know how because I never let it out my sight. I was with my family and took my butt to the bathroom and security carried me out. A month later, I was told by a oh, they gave you a Mickey. Ugh. Damn. Assassinator, why do you think that charge doesn't apply to Diddy? Because To me, he was running a criminal enterprise. Well, not the whole enterprise, but he had people that would do a lot of his dirty work. So we have 7% now that says no, that they don't think he's guilty. I'm driving, maybe some other time, but thank you. Okay, no problem, Assassinino. No problem. But I want to know, why don't you guys think he's guilty? Because think about it. When OJ, when the jury went and to deliberate, what was it, 4 hours? OJ was found not guilty. Everyone should protect their drinks at all times. Yes, yes, you should. Everyone, male, female, it doesn't matter. But I'm thinking this might be. I'm thinking he's going to be found guilty on at least three of the charges. Maybe not Jane, but Cassie definitely. Shoot, my ex tried to slip a Mickey in my drink. Damn. The judge said they can go ahead and do the other counts and on count and can be hung verdict and try him over again. Yep. Now they might try him over again on the RICO or the racketeering charges, but I don't think unless the prosecutors really want him and really want his company and his money, I don't think that if they find him guilty on at least three of those charges, I don't think they'll retry him as long as he gets some time. I've been seeing stories about bodies shackled together, washing. My God, did you see the one about the kids? Oh, I gotta cover that. They did a sting operation, and 30 kids that were missing in Florida was recovered. Once they said Janice had everything in her name, and Aubrey O'Day said this was in that NDA, I knew he was up to no good, but not this bad. Yeah, he's up to no good. I think all but the RICO one. Okay, so you don't think the racketeering, which is the biggest charge. I think he's going to get 5 years of beat. See, but that's just it. That'll be forced labor. That's coercion. That's prostitution. Because he's not on trial for abuse. Well, domestic violence. But they wanted to hear Cassie's testimony relating to 2016. They asked to hear that testimony again. And then they asked to hear the testimony from his other personal assistant that was picking up the drugs and stuff. So they wanted to hear that again as well. Damn. I hope at least three counts. 5 years. Nah, he needs more than five. I'm going to say 12 with three suspended, and he serves 9. But it's federal, but you don't get suspended. You do day for day for federal. All the parties, the people involved were voluntary. If these people didn't want to get involved, they had a choice. What people do behind closed doors is up to them. See, Assassinino, with that one, okay? It's voluntary up until they say no. Cassie said no several times. He threatened on the plane coming back from the Cannes Film Festival. He showed her the videos of her and then sent them to her mother and extorted $20K from her mom because Cassie refused to do them anymore. Same thing with Jane. She didn't want to do them anymore. He threatened to cut off her financial support. That is coercion. That is forced. Yep, they're all Jaden. Yeah, because I see me. I don't tell us with nobody else. Party. No, if we're gonna freak off, we're gonna freak off together. We're not freaking off with a third party while you sitting there watching and whacking your Tootsie Roll. We're not doing that. And I understand what they said. Okay, Cassie, she was like, every time she tried to leave, he would drag her back. If it wasn't for her husband, Alex Fine with his finance now, or Alex Fiend, but it's fine to me, I think she would still be there until he was done with her. And he used his company American Express card. Exactly. He used company funds to do all of this, not personal funds, company funds. Hi, Dustin. So anyway, I am I'm trying to see, because I can see them not convicting on Jane. You know why? Because up until she testified, and maybe he probably paid for July, who knows? He was still paying her rent. He was still paying her rent, and she said it. And she said that she would do anything to make him happy. I do. But anyway, I wanted to. I'm not planning on staying here too long, but I come in. But I wanted you to see that and just discuss it a bit, and then I wanted you to see about the firefighters too. And I've been Dittler groomed her from when she was 19 years old. And how many of you guys saw when his daughters walked out of court on, was it Friday, after the prosecutors did their rebuttal? Well, Thursday and Friday, the daughters, one of the twins was crying, crying. So let's look at the firefighters real quick.
In Coeur d'Alene, 2 firefighters were killed, another seriously hurt in an ambush on Canfield Mountain yesterday. Today, we are learning the identity of the shooter, 20-year-old Wes Rowley. Firefighters responded to a brush fire early yesterday afternoon along the Canfield hiking trail. While battling that fire, first responders were shot at. Last night, a procession of law enforcement and firefighters escorted the 2 firefighters who died in that ambush. The firefighters were taken from Coeur d'Alene to the Spokane County Medical Examiner's office. People and other firefighters lined the overpass along with I-90 to show respect for the fallen brothers. And Coeur d'Alene remembering the late firefighters today. KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy is at the proceedings right now. Shannon, we just heard from fire officials who identified the victims in this case.
Yeah, we're at the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue Headquarters in Post Falls, where we just heard from fire chiefs from the city of Coeur d'Alene and Kootenai County Fire and Rescue, learning the identities of those firefighters. So from Kootenai County Fire, Battalion Chief Frank Harwood was killed yesterday. From the city of Coeur d'Alene, Battalion Chief John Morrison also died. And tonight, Dave Tisdale, an engineer with the city's fire department, is in critical condition. We heard from the fire chief of Coeur d'Alene, Tom Greif, and he said that he had heard from Tisdale's wife that he is able to open his eyes today after 2 successful surgeries before noon, and that he is surrounded by his family and loved ones. And they thank everyone for the outpouring of support from the community. And we do want to remind you that you need to be careful about donating and where you donate. So there is an official avenue for donating to these families and for fire crews who are still battling the Nettleton Gulch fire and just needing some support right now. So the way to donate is to go through the Red and Blue Foundation here locally. They are partnering with Anchored Coffee Company. So all of those coffee stands are taking donations. They're taking food, water, and money. You can also donate money in person at any First Interstate Bank location. That money will go directly to those 3 firefighter families. And tonight, the sentiment in the Coeur d'Alene and Kootenai County community is just confusion and shock. We heard that sentiment from Mayor Woody McEvers. Take a listen.
We still are in shock and are struggling to understand why someone would target unarmed, selfless
20 years old.
servants.
Don't know.
Law enforcement is continuing to
The Chief Greif said that they got the reports of smoke yesterday afternoon, and they just responded, as they always do, to attack this fire, and instead they themselves were attacked. And this, of course, is all still under investigation. In Post Falls, Shannon Mowdy.
Okay, let me just show you this one. But they had no, so they have a 20-year-old. His name is Wes Rowland, and they don't know why he did it. But this is here's the young man. Hold on, let me get to this real quick. And this is coming out of Australia. I don't want to show you that one. I don't want to show you that one. I don't want to show you. That one's coming out of Australia. The other one is too long. So let me just show you this one then. I'll show you this one. The other one is too damn long, and I don't have, it's not like I have anything else to do, okay? But it's just too damn long. And hold on. So this is coming out of Australia.
Understand why this happened. They're the words of Tony Cucciara. His stepson is the 20-year-old gunman police believe lit a fire in a forest in northern Idaho, then gunned down firefighters who raced to respond. 2 of them are dead, 1 is critically wounded. I'm Hugh Whitfeld. Welcome to The World. This is a deeply shocking story, and in this episode,
really
as well
nice.
as trying to ensure those firefighters battling the blaze were able to do that without getting shot too. Let's listen into the radio chatter again.
Central from BC5, where's law enforcement? Where's law enforcement?
Law enforcement is in the area trying to make contact. They have SS-19 and 2310 in the area.
Central, can you get a hold of Brush 551? Have him make sure the state, everyone's getting away they're farther away from that parking lot, that lower Prairie Cave parking lot. I'm not 100% sure they're safe there. We're not very far up. We're probably only a quarter mile up. I have no idea where the shooter's at or where they're going or which direction. I would recommend that our units, all of our fire units, escape down the pavement towards town, maybe a half a mile or so to a safe staging area. Central from BC5, we're going to need multiple ambulances for ALS care as soon as we can get law enforcement in here to get these people out. I recommend we get no less than five ambulances staged at the bottom. I don't care where we get them from. I've got 3 that I know, 4 that I'm positive are people that are going to need help. There's also some other pickups here. Pedestrians and standby bystanders that need help.
So the gap between the fire being reported and the first firefighters being shot was about 40 minutes. And now this Idaho town had a rapidly unfolding, very dangerous situation on its hands. Here's the local county sheriff, Robert Norris.
We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain.
Yep.
We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation.
And that's where I go. When I say I'm going to the lake, I go to Coeur d'Alene.
We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak. This is an active situation. We have multiple agencies that are on scene from local and federal authorities, and we are prepared to neutralize this suspect who is currently actively shooting at public safety personnel. We are prepared to neutralize this suspect as quickly as possible. And that's really all that we know as of right now. We don't know who the suspects are. We don't know how many there are. So I know that
You've got a loss for words.
Very, very, very early, and I don't think that any questions would yield anything.
But if you see this and you see fires now, and the first thing that's going to occur to people is this somebody that's trying to set us up? That's what's going to be said.
A huge containment area was put in place, about 1,500 square metres or 17,000 square feet. Neighbourhoods were locked down. At one point, 2 helicopters with snipers aboard were deployed to take the shooter out, or neutralise them, as the sheriff put it. Then about an hour and 15 minutes after the first shots were fired by the gunman, a breakthrough. Authorities were examining mobile phone or cell phone data. There was one signal inside the search zone that hadn't moved for some time. A tactical response team moved in and they found a man dead with what they believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They now faced a few problems. Primarily, that fire was still burning, so they quickly had to scoop up the body and check there wasn't any booby traps. That fire has now hampered the investigation because the crime scene isn't intact. But detectives believe the gunman was using a shotgun and he had a flint starter to light that fire. So who was he? 20-year-old Wes Rowley. No criminal record, no links to any extremist groups, no manifesto. This photo published by US media is undated, and this is a photo released by the Sheriff's Office, a freeze frame from Rowley's social media account offering a somewhat darker insight. Let's have a listen to the Sheriff again.
The crime scene is active. We still have the suspect's vehicle that is up down an embankment of the mountain. Deputies who responded on scene to protect life and engage the
won't
suspect
be convicted.
Thought it would be in their best interest to get rid of
Downick,
what they thought was Rowley's vehicle. So they had the frame of mind to push it over the side so he couldn't come around and get in that vehicle and flee. So we have not been able to find any manifesto. We have not been able to inventory the vehicle.
Howard.
Although people that have seen the vehicle do believe it appeared as if he was living in the vehicle. There was a lot of debris that's in the vehicle.
So the Sheriff says Rowley, they think, had been living in his vehicle. So what more do they know about the 20-year-old? The Sheriff has confirmed he had ties to California and Arizona and had been living in Idaho for most of last year, with some relatives living north of Coeur d'Alene. He'd worked for about 6 months for a tree service, his family saying he wanted to be an arborist. His landlord once called the police because Rowley had thrown gang signs at him one day. Another time, they found him asleep in his room with his vehicle running outside for 12 hours. The landlord telling Associated Press, Rowley started, quote, acting a little weird. The quote goes on, we just kind of noticed him starting to decline or kind of go downhill, he said.
Mental health, maybe.
Two former classmates of Rowley.
Do we notice how when everything happens, when these people are caught, when people are doing this, they always want to say it's their mental health. It's their mental health. I have a story of a young lady that was ordered inside her home by her mother's boyfriend. And you know what? I'm going to show you that. CPS put her back in that home. Put her back in that home.
Rowley from a school in Arizona told CNN he was a below-average student. Then there's a statement from Rowley's family released through his stepfather's lawyer. We do not understand why this happened or how this came about, it says. Our hearts and spirits are broken for the lost and hurting and for our own loss as well. Here's the reaction from one local.
I guess there's sick people all over the country, no matter where you live, I guess. And even a nice place as Coeur d'Alene, we can have issues like this happen. So it's just prayers for the families and everybody. It's a sad thing for everybody that's concerned, firefighters, the police, and, you know, just regular people, I guess, at the hospital, nurses and doctors and things like that, too.
Yeah, so who are the victims? 52-year-old John Morrison, who'd served with the local Coeur d'Alene Fire Department for 28 years and ended up as battalion chief. The president of the local firefighters union said these guys were hard workers. They love their families. Here's the county fire chief, Chris Way, paying tribute.
Okay, so
it saddens me to announce.
I just wanted to show you the procession they did too for them. They did a procession when they were bringing them back, and where did I put it at? I saved it, I thought. I don't know where it's at. Hold on a second. I saved that procession because they had blocked off I-90 when they were bringing them in to the medical examiner's office. But that's what happened in Spokane. Here's the story that I'm following right now, guys, that I'm going to be covering. And this is sad. This is a trigger warning, and I want you to listen to this. And CPS does not do their job, and then there's a follow-up to this. So here we go.
Just so for the record, y'all putting her back in their custody? Yes. Okay. And you can go up and petition. I heard that. I can comprehend very well. I just want to make sure that this child is acting like this. She has been raped. She has been molested. They have... Her rapist is no longer in the home. Doesn't matter. She was raped in her custody. The home, and I reported that rape. She did not. The mother did not. I reported that rapist, and I am in court documents, and I'm on that release. So it does not matter. So for the record, She was raped in her care. For the record, legally, she was raped in her custody. She was raped in her custody, correct? Correct. She had a gun pulled on her Friday in her custody, correct? Okay. Four children broke into her home, beat her up, jumped her, and y'all putting her back in the home. So that's clear, right? Correct? All right. That's all I need to know.
Look at this young child. This is her cousin. Is it her aunt? Her cousin. She wants custody. She wants them to release her in her care. They won't do it.
Pathetic. Just so for the
hold
record,
on.
y'all put her
Let
back
me
in
get
their
you
custody.
so she comes back. Let me see the repost. Did I save it? Ah, damn it. I didn't save the repost. But she puts up the
Just so
names
for the record, y'all
of
putting her
the
back in their custody. Yes. Okay. You can go up and petition. I heard that. I can comprehend very well. I just want to make sure that this child is acting like
So
this.
she
has been raped. She has been molested.
She put up the CPS workers' names and everything for you to call the caseworker. Everything, she put them up because they are not giving. She's given all of their information, including the manager. They are not. They put that child back in that home. Yep, she did an update today. I'm gonna have to get it. But I've been following this story. This young child was raped in her home under her mother's care by her mother's boyfriend. And the fact that the boyfriend was no longer there, they put her back into custody. The house was broken into. Four kids jumped her. A gun was put to her head. And instead of CPS removing this young child from this home, they put her back there. If something seriously happens to this child, we know CPS is going to say, well, they didn't have this. They didn't have enough evidence. This is crazy. When you had a chance to help Kamani, you had a chance to help all of these young girls. You had a chance to remove them from that situation. Hi, sweet bomb. You left those kids in that home. Problem is, people with a lot of money get targeted nowadays for money. That's true. But Cassie had nothing to gain. She already had her $30 million. She didn't want to testify because she had an NDA. And the federal government said, F that NDA. This is a prosecution. That NDA does not hold water when it comes to charges. So it's just crazy. But I am following that story. And I think I'm following it on her page, not that page that reposted it. But I am actually looking at that. And I wrote down the CPS workers' names and everything. That young child is sitting there crying. If you didn't want to put her in that lady's custody, you should have removed her from the home. Period. Exactly. Kids end up dead because of shit like this. Exactly. And I'm so scared something's going to happen to that young girl. I am so scared something's going to happen to her. She was raped. What is she? 12, 13? Gun held to her head, jumped by four people in the home that you're releasing her back to. This shit is crazy to me. But anyway, I'm chilling today. Well, I'm chilling every day, every single day. And I'm going to get a hold of my sister and see if she wants to go live on the TikToks. because I feel like having fun on TikToks. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. And Drea, if you see an update and I don't get it, just send it to me. Well, I know you said she updated it today. Did CPS remove her from the home? Just like Michael Jackson, I am still convinced he was not guilty, but set up. See, exactly. Michael Jackson's managers, when that first little boy came, when the daddy pressed those, he was doing the lawsuit and he settled. They told him not to settle. How many years after that little boy came out and said that Michael never touched him, his daddy was in financial trouble and he wanted a quick payday? When he paid that child off, well, that family, you opened the door to yourself. Just like when, he paid Cassie off, but he had an opportunity to get her life, to get the rights to that book, and he turned it down. So Cassie said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. So again, when you pay them off, it's just like my grandmother said, if you've got cancer, because this happened to my aunt, once you open them up, that cancer spreads. And my grandmother always believed that. She goes, once you open them up, she don't care how sterilized those hospital rooms are. Once you open a person up, it spreads. I can't say that for my dad because they got all the lesions and stuff off of his spine, but they had to put a rod in and he's still on those Lupron shots for his cancer. But again, I was in Matt's live today. Amani was working. Oh, okay. So again, you pay these people off. It's like Tyler Perry. Tony Bugsby. Remember, Jay-Z sued Tony Bugsby. Tony Bugsby had that lawsuit dropped today in court, baby. You can't sue an attorney because you don't like the fact that the attorney sued you, which, he never vetted that woman. But that case was tossed out. So Jay-Z's lawsuit against Tony Bugsby is null and void. It was thrown out the courts. Tyler Perry has come back out. He's fighting. He is also suing. He's suing for defamation and slander. So he's coming back swinging. But according to the research I have done, Michael Jackson never molested any kid. No, I don't think he did. Yeah, all he did was pay her for what the book would have made. Exactly. He should have just paid for the rights of the book. It'd have been over and done with. All she said she wanted was acknowledgement that this is what he did to her. And he didn't want to give that. And I think that's why he kept Jane Doe close to him and kept saying and taking her to all these meetings with his attorney because, but she said that when she read Cassie's lawsuit, it was like she was looking at her own life. Jay-Z needs to take a DNA test. That's his child. That's his child. That's his child. We know that. That's his. That's his. That's his. We don't even need a DNA test. How many camels do we see? We see him. That's it. We see him. People will take advantage of a person who's rich and kind-hearted. That is reality. That's true. Michael just got taken advantage of for being a kind person. Yep. I believe that. But you got to look at George Michael. When he was caught in that bathroom, I always did think that was a setup because they have been watching that and that was a sting operation going on. But who didn't know George Michael was gay? Who didn't know that? I used to look at him singing and I'm like, it's a damn shame you gay. Who didn't know Boy George was gay? Come on now. Who didn't know Freddie Jackson was gay? Who didn't know Luther Vandross was gay? Are we serious? Are we serious? Come on. I mean, George Michaels was gay. I'm just like, I used to look at him with his perfectly coiffed hair, and I'm like, it's a damn shame you gay. It is. It was a damn shame, but it's okay. You didn't know? Wait a minute, Drea. Oh, you being funny. Look, you didn't know? You okay. Who don't know Tyler Perry's gay? Raise your hand. Who don't know Tyler Perry's gay? Allegedly. I don't want him suing me. Allegedly. And Missy Elliott. I'm sorry. Her. Who else? Queen Latifah. Who didn't know Queen Latifah was gay? Did y'all see Set It Off? Hi, sister. Who didn't know Queen Latifah was gay? Come on now. Come on. What's her name too? The comedian. Wanda Sykes. Yeah, she was married, but who didn't know that Wanda Sykes liked women too? Let's raise our hands. Come on. I'm having a hard time believing that Will Smith may be bisexual. And I keep looking at him. Every once in a while I get a little glimpse. I'm like, nah, Who didn't know Johnny Gill was gay? My. You sure look good tonight. Okay. You just got off the Diddy mess too? Sister, what do you think? Okay, sister, if are you home? Because I can drop the link if you want to come up. I'm just saying, this is all live your best life. Forget what anybody has to say. Be happy with who you are. Nobody's paying your bills. Nobody's feeding you. They're not the ones fucking you. So who cares what they have to say? Who cares? Other people's opinion of you is none of your business. That's their opinion. Okay, hold on. Let me drop the link. That's their opinion. They don't know you. Everybody's too concerned with what people think about them. Fuck that. As long as you're happy with who you are, who gives a fuck what anybody has to say? Until they start paying your bills, feeding you, fucking you. Who cares? Who cares? I'm telling you, that's what I don't get all of this back and forth arguing and fussing for. Who gives a shit what anybody thinks of you or have to say about you? That's their opinion. You know your truth. You know your truth. Oh, hey, my baby.
Hi.
Hi. Look, sis, let me show you my nails. Look at my nails. Look at my nails.
Oh, hold on, let me turn the camera around.
Look at my nails.
Oh, you got the 4th of July?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Go ahead on, girl. You must got a high beat.
I like your micro braids.
Hi.
Oh,
Gabby, say hi.
Hi, Gabby. Yeah, don't put her up there. Hi, Gabby. Don't put her up there.
I know, I put her fast.
I know. So what do you think about Diddy?
I'm not the one to judge. Hi.
Hi, Gabby.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to wait and see how this play out. I'm going to keep my mouth closed. The only thing I just don't like is the beating part that they showed on camera. But everything else, I can't comment on because I didn't see. But I did see the camera part with the beating.
Yep.
So everything else, I don't know. Everybody coming forward saying this, saying that, I don't know. You know, people like to put their hands in, you know, when everybody getting this and getting that. So I can't comment. I just comment on one thing. I don't appreciate the way you beat that woman like that on camera. That's it.
Okay, sister, let me tell you, you got a tan.
I have a what?
You look really red right now. Is it the light?
It must be the light.
Again.
It must be, you got a big bright ass light on. It must be the light in here because I don't have a tan. I have suntan lotion on.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking, girl.
I don't go outside.
I'm just checking. That's it. I'm just
Look,
checking.
sister, I got my skull head.
Where'd you get that from?
You know, I've been had that. Remember from Halloween that when we had the party? Long time.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where I think I have mine.
I have more for you. I have more for you when you come down here.
I think I have mine though. Okay, but I was
So,
just. Uh-huh.
so what do you think about the trial? Since you asking me, what you think?
I think they're going to convict him on 3 charges.
Well, if they convict that one, he go life. So
A maximum
okay,
of life, yeah. But I
they were
think
just
they're going to do
saying
3.
that when they was asking questions about the trial or what they how they want to go forward, they said Diddy raised his hand and he commented and said he don't want the jury to know that the courts is closed Thursday because that's going to make them rush tomorrow. So they let him talk. I didn't know they were going to let him talk.
Hi, Deanna. Yeah. He's able to talk, but the jury already knows that it's a holiday. So it's always closed the day before and the day after. Come on now.
Do you really think the jury don't be sneaking watching the news and they don't know nothing? You
They're
think?
watching because they're not sequestered. Thank you, sweet potato. They're not sequestered at all. They're watching. They're watching the blogs. They're listening to what people are saying. Yeah, they're watching. Because I would have sequestered their ass myself. But then again, they did that for OJ, and they had a lot of fights.
Well, the lady, I heard when I was looking at it on the channel, they said they had a big fight, a big brawl going on across the street. Girl, what?
In the court, but there was a fight in the courtroom too. But no one knows if it was inside of the Diddy courtroom, the main courtroom, or not. There was a fight in the courthouse.
Girl, first of all, where is all the police at? You don't have no police out here for protection. Y'all know when this trial, if they convict this man, they're gonna act a fool out there. If he walk, they're gonna act a fool. Where is all the police?
They're gonna okay. The minute no, I want you to pay attention. The minute they say they have reached the verdict, you're gonna see federal marshals out there. You're gonna see U.S. marshals. You're gonna see the same thing for Karen Reed. Once they said they had a verdict, they started barricading off all the streets. You saw all the cop cars coming in. You saw all of this. You're going to see that once they announce there's a verdict. Now, if they get a verdict tomorrow, I don't think he's going to read it. If it's late in the day, they might wait till Monday. But the judge did say that he might open the courtroom on Thursday for deliberations.
What did you?
He did say
They just say that they had a verdict today. That's why all of them ran in there. So they didn't have no police out there just now, but the 6 that was in front of the courthouse.
I'm telling you that, but there's no verdict yet. There's no verdict. Once they announce that verdict, you're going to see a whole different whole different setup out there. It's going to be a whole different setup.
Girl, this is nuts. This is crazy. And it's sad for me to be all in it like that. I took the whole day and was literally into this trial the whole day. Didn't look at nothing else but this trial.
The trial is over with now. It's just the deliberations. Trial is
That's
done.
what I've been looking at the whole day today. I didn't change the station to nothing but that, to just now. Girl, we gotta talk about this, girl. This is crazy.
I said I need to go on TikTok. I want to go on TikTok.
You want to go on TikTok today? We can't stay late because I got to go to work in the morning for 4:30.
Yep. Yeah, I want to go on TikTok, but I don't want to go on my page because I can't have my page banned.
She never want to go on her page, but she want to go on my page so Drill can get my page knocked off. Drill always get put off my page. You and Drill always get put off my page.
But I'm not going to come under my main account. I'm going to come under my own. I'm gonna come under that other account.
Drill can't go live yet, neither.
I don't know. Dre, are you able to go live? I don't know. I don't know if Dre is able to go live or not. But Chantel can go live, but on her backup page because Chantel doesn't want to ruin her main page.
Chantel won't ruin mine. Y'all so low down.
You don't have the number of followers with you. Did you see one of my videos? What is almost at 17,000. Another one is right around 9,000 right now. So yeah, we don't want to knock off. And then they sent me TikTok sent me the thing to be a part of the creator fund. I don't think I want to do that.
Who got you in trouble, Drill?
Me when I was playing Lisa.
Well, ask Chantel, one of y'all gonna go on y'all page. Y'all let you keep using my page and have me getting banned.
I'm gonna see what Chantel. Oh, Chantel was downtown Canada. Today was Canada Day. I went in for a little while when she was out because she was live streaming us. So
Go
today
look
is
at
Happy
go
Canada
look at
Day.
Coca-Melon. She went out today.
Yep. Oh God, I hate Coco Melon. I'm so sick. Oh God, I can't
She
stand
got Coca-Melon doll, a book sack, the clothes, everything Coca-Melon.
And tell nephew to send me a picture of his Audi. I want to
Baby
see it.
got a coal black Audi, baby. Got a sunroof, got the
I want to see
chocolate,
it.
the caramel seats.
Oh, so his Audi looks like my look like my
It
FX35.
looked just like that Infinity that you had, that SUV Infinity.
Yep, yep, okay. Yep, I had the burnt orange seats. And okay, I want to see it. But my BMW had the caramel interior. It was black on the outside and caramel on the inside.
Look who walking in the door. I said, look who walking in the door.
Is that my brother-in-law?
Look who walking in the door.
Hey, brother-in-law.
What's happening?
Go ahead,
Yeah, I
brother-in-law.
like people see the uniform because they've been to call your job and got stayed live on you from your job. Hide your uniform. Because baby, there's some crucial people on this YouTube channel, baby. Hey, Gabby. Gabby's mission. All right, so we going live on your page, y'all page, or what? No, you got live on your YouTube job, man.
Not my page.
We're gonna go live on Lou page.
On my page. My page will get banned. It won't just be me. It'll be the
You can
page.
go live on TikTok, huh?
Oh, TikTok?
Yeah. We're gonna go live on Lou page. No, we go live on my page. Y'all just been not cut up. That's all.
Okay, send me the invite, and then I'm gonna send it to Dre and stuff, so we can go live.
All right. As soon as I finish cooking, I'm sending the invite when I finish cooking. I'm almost finished.
All right, love
Bye,
you,
y'all.
sister.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And we're on Verdict Watch. We got this. You guys got me on. I told you, just because I'm not on camera doesn't mean I'm not dressed. Okay, I'm always dressed. Always dressed. Except for the mornings. But other than that, because you never know when you're gonna have a camera slip, okay? So I always try to have clothes on. But I love you guys, and I will see Michelle. Michelle, we going on TikTok. I'll send you guys an invite as soon as she sends